सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः బేస్ పెంచుతారా బేస్ we'll chant the 16th verse of chapter 2 verse 16. नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयो तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. The translation: the unreal has no being, has no existence. The real never ceases to be. It's non-being. The truth about both these indeed has been seen by the knowers of the truth. Tattva darshibhihi. Tattva means the essence. Tattvam, as they say. Darshibhihi means the perceiver, the knower, the seer. So what is the perception? What Lord Krishna is saying in the 16th mantra. The past few weeks we have spent substantial time on giving ourselves a lot of introduction on various aspects of philosophy. So I thought, let's get on with the text. So the unreal asataha, sataha is real. When you add any Sanskrit word, you add a prefix a, it's the opposite. Sataha, unreal. The unreal has no existence. I'll explain what that is. The real never ceases to be. So tattvadarshibihi means a person who has that perception. He clearly knows, he clearly sees the truth about these two. So it depends what are we defining reality and unreality as. The Shastras say, the scriptures say, reality is defined as that which persists at all periods of time. It should persist. It should exist at all periods of time. Something which existed in the past, it should exist now in the present, and it shall exist in the future. When it testifies to this definition, then it qualifies itself to be real. So if anything doesn't testify to this definition of existing at all periods of time, that is the past, present and future, it is unreal. This is what reality and unreality is. Now when we want to check what is real, what is unreal, given by this definition, what are our experiences? A human being goes through 3 states of consciousness. Every human being goes through 3 states of consciousness. First is known as the waking state of consciousness. When you are in the waking state of consciousness, you are the waker. The waker is the one I'm addressing now. You are listening to a waker. So there is a conversation between 2 wakers. When we go to sleep tonight, you go through another state known as the dream state of consciousness. When you are in the dream state of consciousness, you become the dreamer. As a dreamer, you are conscious of the happenings in the dream. And also another possibility, when you go to sleep, you can go into a state of a deep sleep state. When you are conscious of nothingness in deep sleep, then you are the deep sleeper. Do you know this? If you have lived 60 years, more than half of your life you are spending in sleep. Easily more than that, isn't it? 60 years of your life, more than 30 years of your life you are spending in sleep. You ought to know what is that state. Half your life you are spending in that state. So when you go to sleep, you are either spending in dream or deep sleep. So you are actually a 3-fold personality, not one personality. It's staggering, sir. Half your life you don't know what's happening to you. Half your life you don't know where you spend, what personality you are, who you are. No idea. So I request you to switch off your phone, sir. So when you are in the waking state, you are the waker. When you are in the dream state, you are the dreamer. When you are in the deep sleep state, you are the deep sleeper. Now what's interesting to examine is, when you are the waker, which is now, you assert the waking world to be real, and you dismiss the dream and the deep sleep to be unreal, don't you? When you are in the waking world, you have a world of your own. You have a family, you have a profession, You have a history of your life you can narrate, which is a solid experience. You have proof of that experience, which is the reality for you. So the 40, 50 years you have spent is a real world for you, isn't it? So for you, the waking world is a reality. But what's interesting is, when you go into the dream, that's when you go to sleep tonight, you could be a hale and a healthy person. You could be having no issues at all with your life, nothing concerning, nothing bothering. Everything is safe and sound. But the dream you have may have no reference to the experiences of the waking state. After a long time, I had a dream yesterday night. For a long time. I usually don't have much dreams. And I went into my daughter's room because she said she wanted to sleep with the mother. So I went into her room and I slept there. Thanks to my daughter. At 3:30 in the morning, I woke up from a dream. I'm still terrified of that when I think of that possibility. Freak. There's no connection, there's no rationale, or it's rather difficult to fathom. At 3:30, I do not know the time, but when I woke up, I registered the clock was 3:30 in the morning. I didn't narrate with anyone, I'm only narrating with you now. Apparently, there was a lot of noise in the neighboring house. Kids were making a lot of noise, which disturbed me in the sleep. Maybe Vaishnava's friends. So they were disturbing. So I woke up and went out of the house to say, kids. In fact, they were whistling apparently, maybe not be Vaishnava's kids. Some neighbors whistling and partying and some noise, it disturbed you all hour. So I went out to tell them, man, this is not the time to do so. You're disturbing everyone. And by the time I went out, I left the gate, went to the side. Two people got off a two-wheeler. They had some weapons. They got into the house and locked the door. Some terrifying dream I had. And then I was very worried about the safety of the family, because everybody is asleep, not aware what's going to happen. Now how am I to alert them? Not having a phone. How am I to tell them, first lock your bedrooms, you should be safe inside at least for a while until I get some help? And by the time I could do all that, I woke up. I wanted to help them. I was very keen to help them that they don't get into trouble, because I saw two rowdies getting into the house. Very real to me this morning, as I said. Today I had the dream, not even yesterday night, this morning. Now, the dream was very real to me, wasn't it? Wasn't the dream real to me? It bothered me. I woke up in the dream. I went out to correct the noise that was coming from the neighbor's house. I saw those two fellows getting into the house, all in the dream, not in the waking state. I've never had a dream like that. I hardly have dreams. In fact, why I'm saying that is, if you have dreams, and if your sleep is intercepted with dreams, which means you're having a disturbed sleep. But when you have a dreamless sleep, that is when you have a sound sleep. You wake up very refreshed. Like even this afternoon, I slept at 4:10 just for a short nap. I put the alarm at 4:35. So 25 minutes, 25 minutes, sound sleep. Not a thought, not a dream. You feel very refreshed. I'm trying to explain the 16th verse for your benefit. He says the unreal has no existence and the real never ceases to be. So when you are in the waking state, the waking world is real to you now. You could be an athlete in the waking state. You could dream yourself to be an invalid in the dream. You could be an invalid in the waking state. You can be dreaming yourself to be a 100-meter sprint runner in the dream. You could be going through a lot of financial challenges. You could be dreaming of royalty in the dream. You could have had, in fact, you had overeaten. You went for a party and you had so much. You had loved the food. You overate, and you were struggling to sleep. And when you actually did go to sleep, you are dreaming as if you haven't had a proper meal for over a week. You are starving. The food in the stomach cannot satisfy the hunger of the dreamer. Don't you dream of that? Is it not possible for you to dream? What is important is, when you are in the dream, I mentioned it, I'm reiterating that point. When you are in the dream, the dreamer believes the dream world to be real. Now, when you are in the dream, let's say, like you are listening to me here now as a waker, as a dream guru, I come into your dream and I start asking you who you are. Mr. Appalswamy, let's say in your dream, I come tonight into your dream, into your sleep. I ask you, who are you? You are a young teenager, 22-year-old boy, somewhere in the West, exactly divorced to your life you're leading now here. Me, with the knowledge of who you are in the waker and knowing what you believe yourself to be in the dream, I ask you, who are you? You would say, I am this. You give me a description, you give your details of your personality, your profile, your parents, what your aspirations and what your life is. Now, if I were to tell you, my dear Jack, you are Jack in the dream. I tell you, my dear Jack, you are not Jack. You are Mr. Appalswamy. I know you, who you are. I know your whereabouts. You're not this, you're that. What would you say to me? What would Jack tell me? What would Jack tell me? If that happens, well and good. Oh, why? I was about to tell you I will approach with our foundation ATG exemption. You will not give anything. Another? But you don't earn 7 crores. You are only lottery you won. You didn't work at all to earn 7 crores. How can you say you won? You have money? Oh, all this calculation you're doing in the dream, huh? You as a waker, you are analyzing the happenings in the dream. But you, when you are in the dreamer, you have no knowledge of any other state but the dream experience. If it's a haunting dream, you're haunted by the experience. If it is a comedy, you are delighted by your life. If it is a romantic dream, you are enchanted by the love you are going through in the dream. If it is a trauma, you're traumatized by the dream. You're horrified, like I woke up with a horrifying dream this early morning. So when I come back to the question, when I visit you into your dream tonight and I tell you, you are not Jack whom you believe yourself to be, your so-and-so person, what would your answer to be? Not knowing of a personality called Appal Swami, what would you say to me? So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know an existence of Appal Swami. I am Jack. I have my 22 years of credible life here in US. I'm born in this part of the world. This is my parentage. These are my siblings. I've got myself educated in this school. I've graduated from this university. I've got a job. I'm just celebrating. I've got a new job. You're giving me description of your life there, and yet I know you have just slept 5 minutes. You have just slept 5 minutes ago, and in that 5 minutes you have a dream. How old? How old is a dream? How old is the dreamer's life? 22 years. You have credibility to prove me. You will take me to your school, you will take me to your university, you will take me to your friends, you will show me your parents, you will show me everything possible to prove 20 years, and yet I know the dream is only 5 minutes old. Isn't that staggering? Why I'm analyzing it? I'm going by the definition. A reality is that which should persist at all periods of time. Past, present, future. Now, let's put these worlds into the test of reality. The deep sleep, when you go into the sleep where you have no dreams, the deep sleep existed in the past, that is tonight, or in my case, it was there an hour ago. I just had a short nap in the afternoon. I had deep sleep. Does that exist now? It existed in the past. It doesn't exist now. It might exist tonight, isn't it? Now put the dream to the test of reality. Is the dream world real? Vaishnavi, the dream existed yesterday night, yes or no? Don't nod your head, yes or no? Does a dream exist now? Don't nod your head again. Yes or no? Huh? The dream exists now to you? Will the dream exist tonight? Is it real? Not real. So far so good. Not to the waker, but the dream is very much real to the dreamer. Sir, this morning we were going to the park we were driving and we saw a dog chasing a two-wheeler right in front of us, and the fellow sitting behind was terrified, almost lost his balance. He could have fallen off the two-wheeler. A street dog is chasing him, and it could have literally bit him. Let's say in the dream, sir, a mad dog is chasing you. Would you run, or would you say it is not real? What if no, quickly you're changing your stance. That is why I am examining, sir. See, when you say the dream is unreal, you're shifting your location, your stance, your standing point is different. See, if you follow the thought, I've said as a human being, you go through 3 states of consciousness: waking, dream, deep sleep. More than half your life you spend in dream, in sleep. These masters are examining that experience. I'm only analyzing it further. So when you are in the dream, you believe the dream world to be real, you dismiss other worlds to be unreal. Just like as a waker, now you believe the waking world is real, and you dismiss the dream and deep sleep worlds as unreal. Now I ask you, intelligent people, you believe the waking world to be real? Yes. Now, yesterday night when you slept, was the waking world real for you? For you, ma? You're a married woman with a lovely family, your husband is sleeping next to you, but yet in your dream you dreamt as if you're a spinster, not married, wanting to get married. You're a corporate lady, here you are a house lady, you're a mother or a grandmother, I'm not sure. You're a grandmother, huh? Grandmother already, huh? Almost, huh? So you could dream of something else, isn't it? So is the waking world real when you slept tonight? Or yesterday night when you slept, was the waking world real for you? Did it exist in the past? The waking world did not exist when you slept yesterday night. The waking world, does it exist for you now? It should, isn't it? Please don't say no. It should. The waking world is real for you now. Is the waking world going to exist tonight? When you sleep tonight, is it going to be real for you? So does the waking world fit into the definition of reality? That's all his masters are saying. It is not easy at all to accept that idea or proposition. They are saying this world is no more real. If you believe this world is real, then it is as real just like another dream. It's a mere figment of your imagination. Because that, the world that you experience is a projection of your mind. It's a projection. Now when we talk about projection, the world you experience is a projection of your mind. Now when we talk of projection, let's take to the experience of a cinema. You go to the theatre. When you go to the theatre, you're seeing a projection, that's all, isn't it? There is the projector, there's a light, there's the film, and there's the screen. What is a projector? Comparison. The projector is the mind. What is the light in the projector? Sorry? What do you think? What is the light? The Atman, the consciousness. It is that light. It just gives the light. Without that light, there cannot be any projection. Then what is there? There is the reel or the film. Isn't it? Do they still put films, or it's all digitized now? Maybe it's digitized now. So when they put that film or whatever, they run through that projector. You see the image. So what is that white screen in the theater? Ellame mind, Maya. What is that white screen? How can you say illusion? The white screen is the world, and the movie that is being played is your image of that world. Each one of us look at the world in the same way or different way. You answer, ma? Huh? Same way. Sir, even this auditorium, each one of you have a different perception to this stage, and you are looking at me, isn't it? A different angle, a different perception. One is looking straight, other is looking at an angle, other is acute angle, other is straight angle. And yet my perception to that same auditorium is completely different to what you're viewing me. One person is feeling cold, another person is feeling warm. One person is interested, another person is distracted. The line of thinking. So the world is that screen, and the picturization is your perception, is your measure of what the world is. And the movie or the image you perceive is determined by what? What determines the movie you're seeing? Sometimes, you know, sir, in the theaters, 4 or 5 shows, each show is a different movie. They may not be playing the same reel over and over again. Maybe 4 or 5 different movies are played on the same screen, same theater, same hall, different movies, multiplex. So what determines the different worlds we experience? Is it the projector? Same projector. Because we said the projector is the mind. But what is it that determines the different projection? The different film. The different film, the different reel. So what is difference? You have a mind, I have a mind. You see a world, I see a world. You have that light of consciousness, I have the same light of consciousness. But the world you experience and live in is totally different to the world I live in, is because of the thoughts, which is the film that is constantly moving, 24 frames per second. Because of the speed of the 24 frames per second, you see a beautiful motion. But when you see the old Charlie Chaplin movies, there is a jerk, isn't it? May not be 24, maybe it's 18 or 20 frames per second, I don't know. Or maybe 26, I'm not sure. Isn't it? You see the difference. So what differentiates, what determines what movie is being played is a different reel. Everything else is the same. Is it? The reel has changed, a totally different audience, a totally different movie. Morning is a family movie, afternoon is a comedy, evening is action, night is horror. Same theater, same screen, different movies. What differentiates? Different reels. So the world you live in is nothing but a mere projection. So they are saying the world, the waking world is not they are saying, is the world real? They say no. It is not real. Why it's not real? Because it doesn't fit into a definition. It exists only a certain period of time. It doesn't exist at all times. I've analyzed the last half an hour. You may not digest it, but that is what the fact is. Your world is very much real to you. I understand that. Your problems are very much real to you. If someone comes and says it's not real, you will say, please keep your philosophy, I'll keep my problem with me. Vastunanu sir, akkadiki vastunanu. Alright. So when you ask, is the world real? They said, no. Then is the world unreal? No, it's not unreal either. Unreal is something which does not exist at all. Like, did a man have a claws like a carnivore? A human ever had a claws like a carnivore? Did a human ever had canine teeth? Like this morning I was appreciating a bull walking on the street. It had huge horns. Mighty horns it had. Didn't we? Did a human being ever had horns? That is unreal.